Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Talks One podcast. Today, we will be discussing about two new developments around specifically raising $1 trillion. Actually, it's quite a huge sum, as you can understand. And first is basically Sam Altman, who is trying to basically raise $1 trillion as a loan, and reports were that they're expecting a US federal government to back it out so that they could invest that money in the infrastructure built for data centers and core AI infrastructure. And this has basically made all the AI pundits across the world question whether Sam Altman is really running like a big Ponzi scheme and he's expecting a government bailout. So there were kind of response from Sam Altman wherein he tried to suggest that no private entity should be funded by the government, and what he was referring to was the massive investment that will be required to build the AI infrastructure, so that Sam Altman can basically expand his investment. And because either he is not having true commitment from private lenders who are willing to invest that kind of money, so he's turning towards US government. And if you look back at the start of the year in the Stargate project, Trump himself has announced $500 million in investment there, and OpenAI is a partner. So only time will tell exactly how this will play out, but of course it seems a little bit fishy. He has definitely come back for his own side of story whereby he's claiming that nobody should be investing or backing a private company, perhaps, but government should definitely consider, like, if they have to remain in the race for AI, they should build out the core infrastructure, whether it is data centers or chips or other kind of things that are required to build such kind of huge inference and AI engines. So that's one, but public at large is thinking that it's a Ponzi scheme, and so far, with all the developments and where AI is reached today, it's nowhere equal to the AGI dream that was being sold off. But nonetheless, there are benefits for people, whether it is in the personal productivity improvement or specific areas such as conversational AI, and text summarization and things along those lines. In fact, even in coding areas, etc., also people have seen some gains out there, but it is not very clear as to how to incorporate these in enterprise setting, and how do you basically gain mass level, step level, productivity improvements across the organization and across the teams. So that's one story that is building out, and we'll have to continuously monitor it, see whether basically government backs them or not. But once they start expecting that governments will be basically backing up the loans and things along those lines, I mean, it's kind of gets into murky terrain, right? Because people will start questioning that why should a private company be backed by government? And the question is AI that is being built right now strategic enough that the government should have their hand inside it? Uh, One question could be, well, China does that all the time. A lot of companies in China are backed by government, and government owns quite a bit of equity. Can they do the same in OpenAI as well? Like any other investor, can government be an investor in OpenAI as well? That remains to be seen. I mean, if we see it from that angle, then it could be completely fine, because government does give funding, grants in R&D, and today OpenAI is in the forefront of generative AI, especially in the consumer B2C space, right? And then you have Claude from Anthropic, which is backed by Amazon, which is going to expand its case in the B2B or the enterprise world, and that's going to. So we'll also have to see how this plays out. Today, OpenAI is by far the biggest generative AI company on earth, with almost $13 billion in revenue. while Claude is around $9 billion in revenue. Both of them are loss making, but Claude has secured focus in enterprise B2B space, whereas OpenAI is more on the B2C space. And only time will tell how these spaces converge and exactly how this plays out, and can this field become profitable ever. That remains to be seen, but this is where the thought process is, and it is important that we understand that these developments are happening, and today people are trying to raise $1 trillion. Just about year 2 years back, when Elon Musk had made a suggestion that he needs $7 trillion to build the infrastructure, and he wanted to raise the funding from various sovereign funds, whether it is from basically funds based out of Middle East, or even from SoftBank, etc. I had actually covered that also in a podcast, and I said, like, given how OpenAI has grown, I mean, I'll not be surprised if he is able to secure at least some portion of it, and looks like he is on that track right now. He has minimized his request, and I don't think this will be his final request as well. So today he's trying to raise $1 trillion, whether it is as a debt financing. This is what I understand. It is mostly like a debt, a loan, but it could be equity financing as well in future. But that's what he's trying to raise. Second thing is, again, $1 trillion, very important figure. It turns out the complete board of Tesla has agreed for a payout of $1 trillion in the next couple of years, if Tesla hits $8.5 trillion in valuation. Again, very controversial, as it is. Elon Musk is the richest man on earth at this point of time, and now he will be expected to get dollars, provided all the projections that he's making for Tesla, be it robo taxis and things along those lines. Again, a lot of investment in AI will basically push his company to new heights. So I mean, all these players are basically investing very heavily. They are not afraid of like raising trillions of dollars in investment. They are pushing it forward, and it turns out that they want to basically chart new territories, right? Nowadays, the $1 trillion has become like $1 billion. I mean, literally not, I'm saying that way because every time now you start hearing companies reaching $1 trillion in valuation. Then now people are trying to now secure loan. Now somebody's payout is going to be $1 trillion plus, etc. These are like really huge sums of money, which by far have never been seen. Uh, is this a bubble territory? God only knows. Anything is possible, right? These people think big, whether it is Sam Altman or Elon Musk. Imagine this, right? I mean, Sam Altman has also got huge equity of OpenAI. It is the largest company, private company today alive. And if it is going to raise $1 trillion, now you can imagine what valuation it can go up to, right? Right now, already it is in hundreds of billions of dollars already. I think last I heard was $120 billion or $130 billion. Is that what the valuation was, or $150 billion? I forgot exactly what it was. But then, if they are able to secure, let's say, $1 trillion in debt financing, what would it state about its valuation? Maybe at that time they may claim that they are $500 million in, you know, sorry, $500 billion in valuation, or they may do some kind of equity financing as well, which may peg them as $1 trillion company. You never know. Like, these things are like going, like the fundamental way of calculating valuations and projections of revenue, etc., are all gone all over the place, because these are not fundamental businesses. These are highly disruptive businesses. These are completely greenfield areas. Nobody knows exactly how they are going to play out in the long run. So all the previous understanding we had of putting a valuation on a company, conducting P by E multiple, etc., do not hold true, because a lot of different things have happened in the past few years. So yeah, I mean, both the examples are there, right? So one is OpenAI, who's trying to raise $1 trillion, and then the board approves $1 trillion as a payout for Elon Musk if he reaches $8.5 trillion in valuation, and that has been approved. So this should tell you that people believe that Elon Musk is the guy who will take the company to $8.5 trillion. So, well, we live in the world. I mean, is it fair? Well, it is fair because it is a capitalistic economy. And if he is able to sell a vision to his investors and they're willing to back him up, then who are we to question, right? I mean, anything is possible. So these are two major developments that have happened over this weekend, and I thought it will be interesting for this population to learn about while we are thinking about joblessness and unemployment, uncertainty. Meanwhile, here are people who are touching $1 trillion either as a payout or trying to raise funding on the other hand. So we live in a world where there are both kind of extremes. At one end there are people who are talking about $1 trillion, raising these kind of funds, and then the other end we have people who are struggling to meet both ends, and joblessness and economic uncertainty. So to me this all seems like, even though there is a bubble in the AI, but I think all what we are seeing seems like that it is just being inflated out of proportions. But given the kind of backing, we are seeing, and the kind of atrocious amount of investment that is coming in, and how both the poster boys, whether it is Sama or Musk, are targeting valuations of trillions of dollars and trying to raise that kind of funding, only tells me that there is still some time for the bubble to burst. These guys are going to push the industry forward. They are going to be too big to fail, and they will bring in lot other players also into this race, which will make it extremely difficult once these companies go down or something adverse happens. Because if it does, it is going to take a lot more people along with it down. I mean, it will be very very bad scene that none of us could have imagined. Because I did make a podcast of Ponzi scheme that is going on, where one company is backing other, either as a vendor or a customer or an investor, and each of these companies are like dependent upon each other through, as a customer relationship or a vendor relationship or a investor relationship. Some relationship ties are there between all these companies, whether it is cloud providers, AI providers, chip manufacturers, and as a result, all these companies are interdependent upon each other, which begs the question that if any of these major players basically goes down, they'll basically suck in the air across the market, and which can lead into a very big disaster. People have been contemplating that for almost 2 years now. I was also one of the persons who did say this seems like a bubble territory, etc. But so far it has not happened. I mean, again, it is very difficult for me to even tell when it will happen. It does seem like it is a bubble territory, but maybe there might be some breakthroughs that I possibly am not seeing right now, that converts everything into profit, or we get so much productivity gains. Maybe robot taxi becomes reality next year, and immediately there is abundance of cars everywhere. The cost to travel just significantly drops, and it's good for consumers, etc. So this will bring travel. It will make travel very very easy. Maybe the number of accidents will go down, so it will again be a good for the overall ecosystem. Maybe everything will be electric cars, so it will bring down pollution as well. I mean, a lot of things are possible. So who knows exactly what is in store for next year or next few years, right? And maybe these valuations seem to be atrocious right now, but by the time we hit next year, these seem to be start seeming to be realistic. It is quite possible that way. So I think we live in transformative times, and I mean, in one way, it is very good because what we are seeing happening in front of our eyes, no past generation has seen something like that happening right now. And Post COVID, this is happening super fast, right? So, well, it will hopefully bring good times. Maybe these valuations are real and realistic, and what we have not seen, we have not seen. What we don't know, we don't know, right? And maybe next year will bring these kind of insights to us, and open up our eyes to something what is possible, which could never have been imagined in the past. So with that, I'll wrap up my session today. I hope you are enjoying your time. It's a winter season right now, and now we started feeling chilly in the Delhi region as well. In fact, yesterday night itself, I started feeling a little bit chilly because the temperatures have fallen down here. It's been around, I think, 13, 14 degrees in the night centigrade. And Of course, not to mention pollution is still there. This is the beauty of Delhi. If you live in Delhi, you can't escape pollution. But I believe, spending winters with family, eating right, exercising, etc., is definitely required. So please do that. And if you find these podcasts interesting, do subscribe, share, and like them. Do write to me. Let me know what your thoughts are, or if you disagree, or if you have other topics you want me to cover. I'll be happy to answer them. So for now, I'll take say goodbye, and we'll be back with next podcast soon. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye.